This chart gives the details of Arctic mammal, terrestrial mammal that can be classified into three groups. One is a small-bodied herbivore. There are 24 species belong to this particular category. The weight of this species is basically between 25 to 250 grams. Some examples include voles, lemmings and pikas. The abundance, these are most numerous mammals present in the Arctic region. And what is their role? They provide food for most carnivores and playing a key role in the energy flow through the ecosystem. They are at the bottom of the pyramid, especially in this particular herbivore series. The next one is medium bodied. There are 9 species are there. Their weight is around half a kilo to 35 kilograms. Examples include hares and ground squirrels, marmots, muscat and American beaver. They have low densities than small mammals. These are also the food supply for carnivores. They can have a stabilizing role in the tundra food webs. And we have the third variety, which is the large bodied. 6 species belong to this one. Their weight is from 40 to 600 kilograms. Some examples include caribou, reindeer, Eurasian elk, moose, sheep and muskox. Their abundance is not known. Caribou, reindeer, muskox are essential food species for Arctic people. So let us look at in depth of Arctic terrestrial mammals. The species with the distributions and restricted almost entirely to the Arctic include circumpolar Arctic fox. This is found in all 20 zones. So this is the only species which is found throughout the Arctic. Species that are dispersed, that is from 6 to 8 zones, include Arctic hare, Nearctic collared lemming, Pale Arctic collared lemming, Siberian brown lemming and muskox. Other species with very limited distribution, that is 1 or 2 zones, often on islands, four shoes, Alaska hare, Alaskan marmot, four collared lemming, etc. And specifically in Siberian area, Wrangel Island brown lemming and insular vole. These are found only in one particular region. 12 resident Arctic species with both refugal lynx and boreal affinities are tundra shrew, and various other species are given here, grey wolf, brown wolf, etc. They can be considered true Arctic species even though their distributions are not exclusively Arctic. One other species, the red fox, appears to be more recent Holocene colonizer of Arctic region. So these are all the various Arctic terrestrial mammals. So here is the chart that talks about these selected species. So we have terrestrial mammal, marine mammal, terrestrial freshwater birds, marine birds. The number of species occurring in the Arctic is given in this particular column, and their ratio of the worldwide total. If you look at all these species, most of the species except marine mammals and the marine birds, all of them have very less population with respect to the entire world. And if you look at all the 67 species which appear in Arctic and which are exclusive to Arctic, if you look at the exclusive to Arctic species are much less, except for the case of marine birds, where 50% of them are mainly in the Arctic region. Similarly, terrestrial and freshwater birds are also roughly 50% are mainly Arctic region. So other species also, vascular plants, bryophytes, terrestrial and freshwater algae, because freshwater algae is not seen anywhere else, so they are only present in the Arctic region. Even marine algae, there are 2,300 species are present and they are occurring only in the Arctic region. Similarly, non-lichens fungi, lichenous fungi, all these things mainly present in the Arctic region. So in the Sambar report, assessment of monitoring implementation is given in this particular chart. The species is polar bear. So the polar bear distribution, abundance, habitat selection, stock structure, body conditions, contaminants and harvest statistics are given here in different parts of the Arctic region. One in the United States, Canada, Greenland, Norway and Russia. For Russia, the polar bear monitoring assessment refers only to a single site, that is the Wrangel Island site. So the green color means the parameter is routinely collected and based on secured ongoing monitoring program. So that means in the contaminant and the harvest statistics, Greenland, Canada and the United States, these are being monitored. And if it is a dark teal, some coverage through routine monitoring but is not considered complete. So that means in the Canada region, people don't study about the polar bear distribution, abundance, habitat selection. These are studied but not complete. And when we look at the yellow color, there is hardly any coverage of populations in the Russian region. So this is how people monitor the polar bears distribution, abundance, habitat selection and all those things under the SAMBAR program. Similarly, walrus and ringed seals are also studied, and in Russia it is not even studied because everything is given in the red color. So harvest statistics are only for walrus. The harvest statistics are available only in the United States, Canada and Greenland, but it is not available in the case of Norway, partially available in the case of Russia. And similarly for the ringed seal, many places we do not have, or we have only scarce information related to the ringed seals distribution, abundance, habitat selections and all the parameters. So these parameters and these countries where the monitoring is happening or where the monitoring is not happening is given in this particular chart. Similarly, beluga and bowhead whales are given here. So for beluga, people are actually having some information, especially in the Canada. We have most of the information available, but Russia, distribution, abundance and habitat selections are available for beluga, but the body condition and contaminants are sparsely available. But in the case of bowhead whale, Norway and Russia does not have any information related to the distribution, abundance, habitat selection and stock structure. But in the Greenland, there is an information available for distribution, abundance, habitat selection and stock structure. So from these things, we actually come to know what the species is present in which area, how much it is present and what is the changes happening to their population. So all those things can be monitored through this particular project. With the various other monitoring program, here the circumpolar map of all polar bear subpopulation is given. We have different colors because we had seen there were 12 regions. The marine area is covered in 12 regions. So those 12 regions are actually given here. And especially only in this dark green area, there is an increase in the polar bear population. In the light green color, there is actually maintaining the polar bear population. It is not increasing drastically or also not decreasing drastically. But the brown regions are very decreasing population. That means lots of areas, the polar bear population is actually reducing drastically. And this light brown area, there is hardly any data or the data are not complete. So this clearly tells that the polar bear population in the Arctic region is actually decreasing because various regions are losing polar bear population, but there are 1 or 2 regions where the polar bear population is increasing. So if we look at what is polar bear and other thing, because the white color polar bear everybody knows, but polar bears have a very thick fur that helps them keep warm in the cold winter. In fact, they have 2 layers of fur. One is a thick fuzzy downy layer right next to their skin. So this is their skin. And the second one, the layer of guard hairs or long hairs which are sticking here, very long one, which acts like their raincoat. Their 2 layers of fur help them keep warm even at the temperature is minus 40 degrees centigrade. In fact, the polar bear's long hair is actually clear and hollow. It looks white to our eyes, but the hollowness helps trap warm air against their bodies. So the polar bear's skin is black. You can see here the black color. This is the polar bear's skin. Currently, we do not know what is the purpose of this one, but we may assume that the black color is a very good absorbing medium for solar radiation. We have seen black body absorbs all the light falls on it to keep it warm. So similarly, that may be one of the reason the black color skin of polar bear may help it keep warm. So here are the known status and the trends of the species. There are various stock species, beluga whale, narwhal, bowhead, ring-seed whale, or all the animals are given here. and the green color means the population is increasing. Yellow color means it is a stable one, red color means it is declining, ash color means unknown, and the pink means extirpated. So except the beluga whale, only one species of the beluga whale is extirpated, but 11 species are actually unknown. What is the change happening? We are currently not sure. And ring-sealed whale, beard seal, ribbon seal, spotted seal. So all these seal, we do not have any information about their population or change in population. But for the bowhead whale, we actually have two species are actually increasing. Harp seal, one species is increasing. Hooded seal, one species population is increasing. Walrus also, the population is for two species it is increasing, but for 5 species we don't know what is the status, and for 4 species it is stable. So from this, the Sambar report clearly talks about what is the trend or the changing population of Arctic species.